Welcome back to our channel. Stop throwing away valuable coins. Learn how to spot rare treasures. The 1995 USA 5-cent coin, better known as the nickel, may appear as just another small piece of currency, sitting unnoticed in pockets or jars across the United States. However, beneath the surface of this simple coin lies a rich and compelling story that is filled with historical significance, fascinating design choices, minting quirks, and an unexpected surge in value that has made it one of the most sought-after coins in the world today. The year was 1995, and the United States was transitioning through a period of relative economic stability. The country was seeing the rise of the internet, personal computers, and the beginning of what would become the digital age. Yet, amidst all these significant changes, the U.S. Mint continued to produce its everyday coinage, including the 5-cent coin, or the nickel. But little did anyone know that this simple coin would become a collector's dream and eventually reach a remarkable value. The design of the 1995 5-cent coin is part of a long tradition that stretches back to the 19th century. The coin's history can be traced all the way back to 1866 when the U.S. Mint introduced the first 5-cent piece. This early version of the nickel was made of a nickel and copper alloy, giving the coin its characteristic color and durability. Over time, the design of the nickel has evolved, but it has consistently featured imagery associated with American history and ideals. By 1995, the design of the nickel had been solidified for decades. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, who is widely regarded as one of the country's founding fathers and a key architect of the nation's early development. The design, created by artist Felix Schlag, was first introduced in 1938 and has been a hallmark of the nickel ever since. Jefferson's likeness on the nickel has become one of the most enduring images in American numismatics. On the reverse of the 1995 nickel, we see a depiction of Jefferson's home, Monticello, which was designed by the president himself. The building has been an enduring symbol of Jefferson's legacy and vision for the country. This image, too, has remained unchanged since 1938, serving as a reminder of Jefferson's role in shaping the early years of the United States. At first glance, the 1995 nickel may seem like just another routine coin minted in large numbers by the U.S. Mint. But as with many seemingly ordinary coins, there's more to this piece of currency than meets the eye. In fact, the 1995 nickel is one of the most intriguing examples of a coin that gained immense value due to an unexpected error during its production. Minting errors have been a part of the numismatic world for as long as coins have been produced. These errors, which can range from minor issues like misaligned dies to more significant flaws like double strikes or off-center strikes, can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into something highly valuable. The rarity of such errors is what drives their appeal among collectors. And in the case of the 1995 nickel, a series of errors during the minting process would lead to some of these coins becoming extremely valuable in the years to come. One of the most significant errors associated with the 1995 nickel is known as the wide AM variety. Typically, coins that are struck with the AM in America on the reverse are closely spaced, but in 1995, a small number of nickels were minted with a wider gap between the A and the M. This unusual error made these coins stand out, and collectors quickly began to take notice. The 1995 wide AM nickel became a sought-after variety because it was so rare, and the error was not widespread. Only a handful of these nickels were produced before the minting process was corrected. Minting errors like the wide AM variety are highly prized in the world of coin collecting because they represent a unique moment in the coin's production. Unlike most coins, which are struck in large numbers with little variation, error coins are the result of mistakes in the production process, and this imperfection adds to their value. The 1995 wide AM nickel is an excellent example of this, as it was produced in such limited numbers that it has become one of the most sought-after varieties of the nickel. So, what makes the 1995 wide AM nickel so valuable? First and foremost, there is the factor of rarity. Of the millions of 1995 nickels that were produced, only a small number feature the wide AM error, making these coins exceedingly rare. Rarity is one of the key factors that drives the value of a coin in the numismatic market. The more difficult it is to find a particular coin, the higher the demand, which in turn raises its value. In addition to rarity, condition plays a crucial role in determining a coin's value. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth far more than those that have been worn down by years of handling and circulation. A coin's grade, which is determined by its overall appearance, detail, and the absence of damage, can significantly affect its market value. The better the condition of the 1995 wide AM nickel, the higher its value will be. Coins that are graded as mint state or proof-like can fetch significantly higher prices than those with visible wear and tear. Another factor that contributes to the value of the 1995 wide AM nickel is its appeal to collectors. In the world of numismatics, there are many different types of collectors, from those who are focused on building complete sets of coins to those who specialize in error coins or rare varieties. The 1995 wide AM nickel appeals to a specific group of collectors, those who are interested in coin varieties and minting errors. These collectors are willing to pay a premium for rare coins like the 1995 wide AM nickel, which only adds to its desirability and value. Now, let's talk about the big reveal. How much can a 1995 wide AM nickel actually sell for? The answer might surprise you. While the typical 1995 nickel is worth just 5 cents, the wide AM error coins can fetch prices that are significantly higher. Depending on their condition, these rare coins have been known to sell for thousands of dollars at auction. In the most extreme cases, the most valuable 1995 wide AM nickels have sold for an astounding $118,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $118,000 for a single 1995 5-cent coin. This extraordinary price is a testament to the allure of rare minting errors and the growing demand for error coins among collectors. What started as a small mistake during the minting process has turned this otherwise ordinary coin into a valuable treasure that can command staggering sums in the market. The 1995 USA 5-cent coin is a prime example of how rarity, history, and the slightest of errors can turn an otherwise commonplace coin into something incredibly valuable. For collectors, the 1995 wide AM nickel represents an opportunity to own a piece of numismatic history, a coin that was originally produced for everyday use but has now become a rare and highly sought-after collectible. So, if you happen to come across a 1995 nickel in your change, it's worth taking a closer look. While most of them are just regular 5-cent pieces, you might just have a 1995 wide AM nickel in your possession, one that could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. The story of this coin proves that in the world of numismatics, the smallest details can make all the difference, turning an everyday coin into an extraordinary treasure. And with a value of $118,000, the 1995 USA 5-cent coin is certainly a coin worth paying attention to. The year 2000 was a milestone for the world in many ways. The new millennium was upon us, and there was an air of anticipation and excitement in the air as people looked forward to a new era of possibilities. The world was gearing up for the Y2K bug, which many feared would cause major disruptions in computers and technology systems. Meanwhile, in the US, the mint was quietly working to produce the currency that would circulate in the coming years, including the 5-cent coin, or nickel. The 2000 USA 5-cent coin may seem like a simple piece of change, but beneath its ordinary appearance, there's an intriguing story about its design, minting, and how a rare error has made it one of the most sought-after coins among collectors today. Let's first talk about the history of the nickel. The 5-cent coin has been a part of American currency since 1866, and its design has evolved over the years. The original design featured a shield and was the first U.S. coin made of nickel and copper, a metal combination that would become a hallmark of American coinage. Over the years, the nickel's design changed, but one of the most notable and enduring designs came in 1938 when the Roosevelt-era nickel was introduced. This design featured the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse side, with his home, Monticello, depicted on the reverse. By the time the year 2000 rolled around, the Jefferson nickel design had been in circulation for over 60 years. The coin had undergone a few minor changes over the decades, but the basic design remained the same. However, as with many coins that are in long-term circulation, certain years and variations can stand out due to errors, limited production runs, or even slight changes that collectors find intriguing. The 2000 nickel is one of those coins that, while largely unremarkable to the average person, has become a coveted piece in the world of numismatics. In terms of design, the 2000 nickel continued with the traditional Jefferson motif. On the obverse, we see Thomas Jefferson's portrait, which is based on a famous painting of him by artist Rembrandt Peale. The reverse, as always, features an image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, symbolizing the president's connection to the early history of the United States. These two iconic images have remained a fixture of the nickel for decades, representing both Jefferson's legacy and the architecture that symbolized his vision for the nation. However, in 2000, there was something different about the way the coins were minted. While most coins in circulation were produced as usual, a small group of 2000 nickels were struck with a significant minting error that would later cause them to stand out in a huge way. This error would transform the 2000 nickel from an ordinary coin into a rare collectible. And it all started with something as simple as a misalignment during the minting process. The error that made the 2000 nickel so valuable was a variety known as the close AM error. Typically, on the reverse side of the coin, the AM, in the word America, is spaced a certain distance apart. However, on some of the 2000 nickels, the spacing between the A and the M was unusually close, creating a distinct variation that would catch the attention of keen-eyed collectors. This misalignment of the letters is what made these nickels stand out from the rest. The reason why this close AM error became such a big deal in the numismatic world has to do with rarity. Errors like this are relatively uncommon, and the fewer coins that feature a particular error, the more valuable they become. Coins with misaligned features or design variations are highly sought after by collectors because they represent unique and unusual moments in the coin's production. The 2000 close AM nickel became a particularly valuable example of this phenomenon, and as word spread about the error, collectors began to seek out these rare coins. Minting errors happen more frequently than you might think, but the extent of the error and the rarity of the coins that exhibit these flaws often determine the value in the marketplace. In the case of the 2000 close AM nickel, the error was relatively small, but it was significant enough to make the coin extremely rare and highly desirable to collectors. While most 2000 nickels were struck correctly with the proper spacing between the A and the M, only a few coins exhibited this close spacing error. This scarcity contributed to the coin's desirability, and the more rare a coin is, the more its value increases over time. As more collectors became aware of the close AM error, the demand for these rare coins grew exponentially. It's not uncommon for a coin with such an error to be auctioned off for a price far beyond its face value, and the 2000 close AM nickel was no exception. What had started as a relatively minor error during the minting process had turned into a coin that was worth much more than 5 cents. In fact, as collectors began to realize how rare these coins were, they started to fetch astronomical prices at auction. So, how much can a 2000 close AM nickel actually be worth today? Well, while the typical 2000 nickel is worth just 5 cents, the close AM variety is worth far more, sometimes in the thousands of dollars. Coins in mint condition, with little wear and tear, are even more valuable. In fact, some of the rarest and best preserved 2000 close AM nickels have sold for a jaw-dropping $112,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right, $112,000 for a single nickel. This incredible value reflects the rarity of the coin and the growing demand for error coins in the numismatic community. It's a testament to how a small mistake during the minting process can turn an ordinary piece of currency into an extraordinary collectible. And the 2000 close AM nickel is a perfect example of how a seemingly minor imperfection can have a major impact on a coin's value. But why do collectors find these error coins so fascinating? The answer lies in the world of numismatics, where rarity and history are highly prized. For collectors, owning a coin with a rare minting error is a way to own a piece of history, something that was produced in limited numbers and holds a special significance in the story of U.S. currency. Error coins like the 2000 close AM nickel offer a glimpse into the process of coin production and the intricacies of how these pieces of money come to life. And in the case of the 2000 close AM nickel, it's this unique error that has made the coin a highly prized item in the world of coin collecting. Now, imagine you find one of these 2000 close AM nickels in your pocket change. It may seem like a simple, ordinary coin, but upon closer inspection, you realize that it's one of the rare error coins that can command an extraordinary price. While most people would overlook such a coin, for collectors, it's a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. And with the potential to sell for $112,000, it's no wonder that the 2000 close AM nickel has become one of the most coveted coins in the world today. As we wrap up this video, it's clear that the 2000 USA 5-cent coin is much more than just a piece of everyday currency. It's a coin with a story that involves a small mistake during minting, a rarity that caught the attention of collectors, and a growing demand that has made it one of the most valuable coins in modern numismatics. And with its current value at $112,000, the 2000 close AM nickel is a shining example of how something as simple as a misaligned letter can turn a coin into a fortune. So, if you ever come across a 2000 nickel, take a moment to check it carefully. You might just be holding a treasure worth a small fortune. The year 2017 was a pivotal moment in American history, filled with change and new beginnings. It was a year that saw political shifts, technological advancements, and cultural movements that would leave a lasting imprint on the nation. However, in the world of coin collecting, 2017 will be remembered for a different reason, one that revolves around a humble piece of currency, the 5-cent coin, or nickel, produced by the U.S. Mint. The 2017 USA 5-cent coin may seem like just another everyday item, often found casually thrown into pockets or tossed into a jar of spare change. But there's a story hidden behind this seemingly ordinary coin, one that reveals a rich history, subtle design intricacies, and an unexpected rise in its value due to a rare error that has turned it into a true numismatic treasure. When we think of the 5-cent coin in the United States, most people picture the classic design that has remained mostly unchanged for decades. The 2017 nickel, like its predecessors, was minted with the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse side. Jefferson has been a central figure in American history, and his image has been featured on the nickel for over 70 years. On the reverse side, we find the iconic depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, a symbol of his vision and the early days of the Republic. The designs are iconic, steeped in American tradition, and they have become an essential part of the nation's coinage. But while the design of the 2017 nickel might look familiar, it's not the design itself that has attracted so much attention. Rather, it's the errors that occurred during its minting process, specifically, a rare variety that has left collectors scrambling to add it to their collections. As with many coins, small imperfections can make a huge difference in terms of value. And the 2017 nickel, despite its seemingly regular design, has become a sought-after coin due to a series of minting errors that were discovered after it had already circulated. Minting errors are not unusual in the world of numismatics, and in fact, they are one of the key reasons certain coins rise in value. Whether it's a misaligned die, a double strike, or an off-center coin, errors create rarity, and rarity is what drives demand in the coin collecting community. Coins that were never meant to be released, coins that were printed incorrectly, or coins that defy expectations are prized possessions for those in the know. One such error that occurred with the 2017 nickel was the double die reverse variety. This error occurred when the reverse die, which is used to stamp the reverse design onto the coin, was slightly misaligned during the minting process. This misalignment caused the words and images on the reverse side of the coin to appear doubled, creating a visual effect that made the coin unique. While this type of error may seem subtle, it's one of the most sought-after types of minting flaws in the world of numismatics. When a coin has a double die error, it is instantly recognized by collectors as a rare and valuable piece. The double die reverse error on the 2017 nickel was particularly intriguing because it was not immediately noticeable. These errors were small, subtle, and often went unnoticed by the general public. But for coin enthusiasts, even the slightest flaw can be a big deal. As word of this error spread through numismatic circles, collectors began hunting for the 2017 nickels that exhibited this unique double die variety. While not every 2017 nickel contained the error, those that did became highly sought after. And as time went on, these coins became harder and harder to find, adding to their value. But what makes the 2017 double die reverse nickel so appealing to collectors? First and foremost, it's the rarity of the error. While the U.S. Mint strikes billions of coins every year, only a small number of them are affected by minting errors. These errors are not intentionally created, they are the result of flaws in the minting process, and they happen by chance. The rarity of these errors means that they are valuable to collectors who are always looking for rare and unique coins to add to their collections. Second, the 2017 double die reverse nickel has a strong historical connection. As mentioned earlier, the design of the nickel has remained largely unchanged for decades, and the image of Thomas Jefferson in Monticello has become a symbol of American history. A coin that carries the image of one of the nation's most revered founding fathers is already valuable in its own right. When that coin carries an error, it becomes even more meaningful. The combination of history, rarity, and the thrill of finding a mistake in the minting process makes the 2017 nickel a true treasure for collectors. The appeal of error coins is not limited to just those who collect for the sake of completion or historical interest. Investors also recognize the potential for substantial returns on rare coins. When a coin is as rare as the 2017 double die reverse nickel, its value can skyrocket over time. Investors in the coin market know that error coins tend to appreciate in value as they become scarcer and more difficult to find. And as the demand for such coins grows, so too does their price. So, just how much can a 2017 double die reverse nickel be worth? While most 2017 nickels are worth, well, 5 cents, the rare double die reverse variety has been known to sell for prices much higher than its face value. In fact, some of the most pristine examples of the 2017 double die reverse nickel have sold for an astonishing $95,000. Yes, $95,000 for a 5-cent coin. This impressive value may come as a shock to those who aren't familiar with the world of coin collecting, but it's a testament to the incredible demand for rare coins in the numismatic market. When a coin is as rare and sought after as the 2017 double die reverse nickel, it can fetch a price far beyond its face value. In fact, some auctions have seen the price of these coins skyrocket, with bidders vying for the opportunity to own a piece of history, and a coin that could one day be worth even more. It's important to note that not every 2017 nickel will command such a high price. Like any collectible, condition is key. Coins that are in mint condition, with little wear and no visible damage, will always be worth more than coins that have been heavily circulated. A coin that is graded as MS-70, or in perfect mint state, is far more valuable than one that has visible scratches or discoloration. For the 2017 double die reverse nickel, coins in mint condition can fetch far higher prices at auction than those that are worn or damaged. The value of the 2017 USA 5-cent coin, particularly the double die reverse variety, is a perfect example of how the world of coin collecting can turn an ordinary piece of currency into a valuable investment. What started as a simple mistake during the minting process has evolved into a highly coveted piece of numismatic history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting out, finding a 2017 double die reverse nickel could mean discovering a hidden treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. In conclusion, the 2017 USA 5-cent coin is a prime example of how the world of coin collecting works its magic. What seems like an everyday nickel is actually a coin that holds incredible value due to a rare minting error. And with a current value of $95,000, the 2017 double die reverse nickel is proof that even the smallest mistake can lead to an extraordinary treasure. So, the next time you come across a 2017 nickel, take a moment to check it closely. You never know, you might just have a rare coin on your hands, one that could change your life forever.